Welcome back to Marvel Revisited. It's been a little while, a little longer than usual. The show where we rewatch and rank every MCU movie in order. Of course, as usual, joined by my two lovely co-hosts. Eric, let's just get into it. What movie are we revisiting today?
Man, you don't not wasting any time today.
Okay. Dude, the Civil War was like almost a 2-hour podcast, man.
And it's one of our highest viewed, isn't it?
Is it? Yeah, I did see the views on it, and like for the time it's been out, we do have quite a few views. So thank you very much for watching that. Please hit that like button and keep watching it. The rest of the series, we're gonna get through the whole MCU. I promise, it's gonna happen.
So I have my thoughts on this. I think it's one or two people that is severely attracted to one of us, and they just have it on repeat just to get their fill. I don't know.
Well,
thank you, whoever this is. It's a little weird, but we appreciate it.
It's weird because we are all married men.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Don't tell us which one it is. So we don't want to get in trouble. Okay, so today on Marvel Revisited, we will be talking about Doctor Strange.
That is right. Of course,
Doctor Strange.
Yes,
not Doctor Strange mom.
Not Doctor Strange mom. The mom, cut the mom out. It's
OG.
Released in October 20th.
More accurately, Doctor Strange in the mom.
In the mom. No. The original Doctor Strange was released October 20th, 2016, directed by Scott Derrickson. Budget of $236.6 million and box office of $232.6 million. Wow, really?
Is that accurate? Didn't make money?
It's the budget. Okay, somebody's got their numbers wrong, because one, it says box office, and on Rotten Tomatoes says box office, and then Google says the budget was that.
Bro, you should use the website Box Office Mojo.
Box Office Mojo?
Yeah.
Let me check this out real quick. Box
Mojo.
Office Mojo. I haven't even heard of this, so you're learning with us, people.
I've used it a bunch of times.
Doctor?
Oh my god.
Strange.
As of this moment, our Captain America, the original podcast, has 666 views.
Dang. That's
Why?
really good numbers for us.
It's our
weird.
fourth most viewed video.
Okay. All right. Now I got the numbers. This is more accurate. Okay. So budget of $165 million, and the worldwide gross of it, or the box office numbers, was $677 million. So almost $678 million. Yeah. Made some money. It wasn't in the billions like some of the other movies, but it still did I think a good number for introducing a character that hadn't been teased or anything before. And honestly, if you're not a comic book fan, you probably didn't know much about Doctor Strange. Like I didn't know much going into this movie.
Yeah, I didn't know anything about him.
But Eric, why don't you tell us how many times you've seen Doctor Strange, and did anything change rewatching it?
This will be my second and a half time watching it. So I watched it in theaters with Jason and his daughter, and there was a little story behind that. It was late. I'm just wasting time here, but I have to tell this story.
Oh God.
It's late. We took his kids to see it. It's getting late. We get out around maybe midnight, and his daughter Daisy is like super tired and everything, and she's cranky. So I'm joking around. I'm like, man, quit being Dormammu. and she just loses it and starts crying. She's like, "Why did you say that? Why would you call me Dormammu?" It was pretty funny.
Dormammu have come to bargain.
Yes, I've come to bargain.
Eric.
Dormammu.
Knock knock.
Who's there?
Dormammu. You need to finish it.
Dormammu. Who?
I've come to bargain.
That might be the best Marvel joke I've ever heard.
It's Dormammu. I've come to bargain.
That's good. Okay, so 2.5 times I watched it. I think I was at Jason's again, and he put it on, and we were watching it in the background. I like this movie. I like the pacing of it. I like the character development, and yeah, I remember pretty much the same things that watching it the first time. I still really like this movie.
Nice. Nate, how many times have you seen Doctor Strange, and did anything change rewatching it?
Okay, let's try this again.
I've seen it also like 2.5 times. I saw it when it came out. I probably saw it again when I was rewatching for myself everything. And then when we watched it this last time, I saw like half of it because I fell asleep.
That's right, you did. Oh, man. Yeah, I have seen this movie, I want to say 3 times as well. Yeah, I saw it in theaters. When I got my OLED, I was like, all right, what movies do I want to watch? And I remember Doctor Strange being like super visually interesting and stunning. So I threw that on and watched it again. And then I watched it again with Nate. And yeah, I was just like sometimes, and he would wake himself up from the snoring. And then it was like, no, I'm awake. No, I'm not. No.
When did we watch it? Was it Friday? Or was it yesterday? Yeah. I had just had. I don't know. Is this TMI?
Whatever you want, dude.
I just had my nuts cut earlier that day. So I was out of it.
Yeah.
Well, not out of it. I was just tired.
Yeah, he was tired. It's fine. But for me, nothing really changed rewatching it. I like it just like Eric said. I enjoyed this movie. Who is frozen with a very interesting face right now. But yeah, I did realize some more details, and especially after watching the sequel, coming back in, there's a lot more talk about the multiverse than I actually remembered. And then the way that dimensions work and everything.
And do you remember the thing they said that didn't make sense about the multiverse? I remember there being a line where we looked at each other and I was like, that doesn't make sense based on everything else.
I can't remember. I don't either. But anyways, I still enjoy this movie. I have the feeling though that this movie is going to turn into, or this podcast is going to turn into, why this is better than the sequel. If you haven't gone and seen our Multiverse of Madness review, go check that out. Me and Nate did that. We're going to try to not spoil anything, but I guarantee that we're going to talk about it in some fashion. So if you want absolutely no spoilers whatsoever,
just not spoil it. There's no, because I don't know.
But we have to talk about some stuff, man.
All right, we'll see. I don't think we have to spoil anything.
Yeah, because Eric hasn't seen it either. And
I don't care.
Okay. All right.
I've come to the conclusion that I don't. It's not my cup of tea. So fine.
Okay. Well, we'll see how the conversation goes. We'll go with the flow. Okay. Let's get right into some of these lists. Let's talk about importance to the MCU.
Whoosh.
Let me get up the list real quick. The current list is I think top half, right?
Probably.
Okay.
I would say.
So we've got Avengers #1, Civil War, Age of Ultron, Guardians, Winter Soldier, and then Thor. This is a big one.
I think it might be number 3, possibly, because I mean they talk about it like in the movie, like this aspect we get the mythical, like that type of stuff in this movie that we really haven't touched in any of the other MCU stuff. They talk about you have the Avengers for these type of threats, and then you have us for these type of threats. So I feel like the importance of that, it is very important. And then just the way they like they know what they're talking about, it seems like, with the multiverse. At least the Ancient One does. So like you get a little bit of a glimpse into the multiverse, I feel like.
Yeah, that's something I didn't remember. I didn't remember that they, like, she's like, oh yeah, what is this Doctor Strange and the infinite amount of the multiverse? Like, what makes you so special, you know? Just to try to get him to understand that it's not about him. But also, I never remembered her talking about the multiverse, and I don't know why. But Nate, what do you think?
I think it's above Winter Soldier. So what is that, 4th or 5th?
4, yeah, under Guardians.
Just because I like Guardians better. I don't know. Honestly, I don't know. Importance. We get Infinity Stones in both. We get more characters in Guardians, but more characters that are less important than Doctor Strange, because Doctor Strange is pretty important.
Yep.
We do get Thanos as well, though.
True.
In Guardians.
True.
What was Guardians? Was it Guardians 5?
Guardians is number 4. So you argued to Eric to put it just above.
Yeah, I think it's under Guardians. We also get the Nova Corps. I don't know. This one also, it also introduces us to the multiverse. Like, it shows us the multiverse, which doesn't super matter in this phase, but is basically what all of Phase 4 is about.
Yeah. Yep.
So I have a question that is going to be, I guess, a spoiler if somebody hasn't seen it, like me. Did they touch on the Dark Realm again in Mom?
Barely.
Not really.
Okay.
No,
they do, but barely.
It's in the after credit scene.
It's in the after credit scene.
Okay.
So it's not like, oh, let's go to the dark dimension again and let's explore it. It's like, no, there's none of that.
Have a party.
I think I agree with Eric a little more. You said 3. I think this goes just above Guardians, just above, which would make it the new number 4.
Fourth.
Yeah. But yeah, this introduces a key pillar of the MCU. Like in Falcon and Winter Soldier, he's like, you know, there's 3 big enemies. There's, you know, I can't even remember the line anymore. But he's like, yeah, there's wizards, there's freaking aliens, and I can't remember the third one. But
get up real quick.
But like that's true. And the guy's like, what, wizards? He's like, yeah, like Doctor Strange. He's like, he's not a wizard. And they have that cool banter. But that's like, it is true that this is a huge pillar to the MCU and to the Marvel Universe, period. Like even in the comics, he's a huge important character. And like, and that's another thing that really, it's bittersweet, because right when I saw this movie, it was a really good impression for the mystic side of the MCU.
Aliens, androids, and wizards.
That's it. Aliens, androids, and wizards.
Yeah,
but Guardians does that as well.
Sure.
Like it shows us every other part of the universe, basically, other than Asgard.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's the whole universe, the whole space side of, and like the Eternals and all that stuff.
It's the aliens. It's the alien side of the aliens, androids, or wizards.
Yep. Yeah, I don't. There's an argument to be made. I think it goes above Guardians, just above Guardians.
We're all in disagreement. We want it in all three different spots.
Well, let's put it in the middle of where we think it should go then.
Exactly. Eric says 3. I say 4, and you, Nate, you say
3. 3 is above what?
3 is above Age of Ultron. And I say 4 under Age of Ultron, above Guardians. And then Nate, you say 5 under Guardians.
Why specifically over Age of Ultron?
I don't know, because he was just bringing up the movies and like thinking about it in that aspect. I mean, I feel like it holds, like you haven't seen anything like this yet, and it just holds a lot of weight.
No, I feel you. No, I get what you're saying.
And I mean, if we're talking about it, I mean, Ultron is a huge baddie, but if we think about it in retrospect, when it comes to Dormammu, he is like one of those super powerful beings that
technically could come back.
Yeah, yeah. I hope he.
All right, you can put it in where Winston said.
So it is the new number 4, just above Guardians. Cool. So now I would like to take a quick detour, and I'm going to spit some marvelous facts.
Marvelous facts!
Thank you. I love that. That's got to go every time now. Just because this movie does a very different take on the whole mystic arts, and here's a big reason why. Astrophysicist Adam Frank served as a science consultant on the film to advise on how to portray changes in the human experience of space and time. Frank also helped Marvel conceive their ideas for the multiverse, as well as suggested dialogue and belief stances for the characters. One big reason why it's so scientific. The filmmakers defined the use of magic as dimensional travel and shifting. We didn't want magic to simply be people throwing and blocking bolts of lightning. This is the ability to tap into different dimensions and pull aspects of those dimensions into our realm. According to Kevin Feige, the concept of magic in the MCU is inspired by Matrix and the fantasy works of Stanley Kubrick and Hayao Miyazaki. Have you watched the Cosmos series?
Yeah.
That's magic, the quantum physics. If somebody knew how to tap into that stuff, that's the difference between what's the difference between that and magic? You don't get into it in Harry Potter, but if a scientist went to Hogwarts, he'd find out how some of that stuff is happening. We're not going to spend a lot of time on it, but there will be some of that, particularly for a character like Doctor Strange, who goes from a man of science to a man of faith, and who traverses both worlds. And sometimes there won't be an answer. Sometimes he'll want an answer. How is this happening? And nothing, said Feige.
Yeah, it shows in the film.
Yeah,
it does.
And this is a huge nitpick for me because they started off on such a great foot in this movie. And then as the MCU went on, it got more convoluted. And now I feel like it's just ruined. Because right when they introduced this, they're like, okay, these are sorcerers. So I was like, okay, this is going to be magic from the MCU point of view. But then in WandaVision, we saw a whole bunch of runes. And my big issue with that ending, I'm like, this doesn't make any sense. They never talked about this before. This is not how magic works in the MCU. And then in Multiverse of Madness, they clarify it, but it's not
it's like both.
It's like both, but it's not with that clear vision. And I love this so much more. This is just like, I don't know. There's something about it that's so cool, not only from a visual aspect, but also from like how it works. It's like it's such a good fit for the MCU because the MCU is so scientific. We started with Iron Man for a reason, you know? So it brings up this movie, but later on in the MCU, it kind of brings the whole MCU kind of down because it is such a big part of the MCU.
I'm gonna have to agree with all of that I missed.
Sorry, Eric's having
it's fine. I kind of got the. I'm sure I'm gonna say the same thing.
Cool.
Yeah, I feel like they set up something, and then I feel like they just kind of like I'm tired of like having to explain everything. Let's just dumb it down. Like, this is just magic because it just is.
Oh man. Dang.
Well, he ended his sentence on a really good spot. So you could just act like that's where he stopped talking.
And I watched a video a while back about how to do magic well in a story. And I think it's incredibly important. And that's honestly why almost everything I watch that's magic, I don't like it because it's always cheap, you know? Their solution with magic is how did this happen? Magic. In the Harry Potter series, how did he do that? He's good at magic. Magic.
You know, the Naruto world does it pretty good, where like it's basically magic. They never call it magic, but it's basically what it is.
Mm-hmm.
But they set up the rules for how everything works, and everything fits into the system. There's small caveats here and there, but none of it is like game breaking.
Mm-hmm. And one of the best examples of that, Naruto is a really good one, but one of the best ones that they used in the video was Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. It's magic, but there are constraints. And it's like very focused. You can do this. You cannot do this. You can do this, but it's taboo. The limitations are all there and everything makes sense. And sure, this movie doesn't do it perfectly, but they get a lot closer to that than the sequel does. You know, the sequel, he can do this. Why? Magic, you know? And it's such a huge nitpick for me that it just feels, it feels like a throwaway every single time.
I don't know. I mean, I do like this film more than the sequel.
Oh, yeah.
But I still feel like their explanation is still very, like, it's just magic. Like, oh, we pull power from other dimensions. Like, but how do you do that?
Mm-hmm.
They never explain that.
They never explain that.
So it's like, how much better is it? Like, oh, just saying that it comes from there doesn't really help in me specifically. And that's not what makes me like this film more than the next one. It's other things that we can get into later.
Mm-hmm. I see what you're saying, but no, I agree. They don't talk about how they manipulate that energy from the multiverse or from other dimensions, but they do talk about, okay, you need to learn your spells in the mirror dimension. Why? The mirror dimension, people can't get hurt. Boom. There's a rule, you know? Yeah. And another rule. You can't alter the real world, you know? If you're not in the mirror dimension, you can't alter it. And then he does it. But why? It's because that's taboo. You can't do that, you know?
Well, no, it's not because it's taboo. It's because he's pulling from power in the dark dimension.
Okay, yeah, sorry.
But still, right. It's still just so, it's like, okay, well then I can do anything as long as I pull it from this specific dimension. You know what I'm saying?
Sure, I
do agree. I do agree that it's better than what we get in the second one, but it's by a thin paper wall. Like that. I don't know, because for me,
like also, like he's like, okay, cast a weapon. All right, and then he like does the hand signs and he casts a weapon, and we see other people cast different weapons and everything. But and then in Multiverse of Madness, light spoilers, they grab notes. How? They've never introduced this before. They have never explained this before. He can just do it because magic, you know? And he turns those notes into like weapons. At least they're consistent on being like, you can do this with magic. And then they use that, you know? They talk about relics. They have relics. You can cast weapons. They cast weapons. You can alter reality. They alter reality. They don't go into some like whole different strand of thought with the magic.
And that's why I do agree with you that like this is better.
Yeah.
Because at least they pretend to care.
Yeah.
Whereas in the other ones they don't.
Yeah.
Anyway, although I did like that scene though, with the nose.
Oh yeah, it was a cool scene, but it didn't really make sense, you know.
Yeah.
Anyways, we should get back to the to the stuff at hand. All right, next is villain. Let's talk about. Okay, so Eric,
that's me.
You asked the question earlier. Should we talk about Dormammu or Caecilius?
Caecilioso.
Yep.
Mads Caecilius. Dormammu is literally there for like 2 minutes.
Agreed.
Yeah,
Mads Michaels.
I mean, power difference is huge.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Let me.
Caecilius, it's like stupid motivation.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, if we all just go into the dark dimension, then all of us will be happy and live forever.
Yep.
Why? Oh, just cause.
Well, it's not. I feel like he feels so betrayed, and then after the betrayal, he's like, "Well, right. What else is she hiding from us?" Mm-hmm. Like, and he doesn't. It's all about trust being broken, and so
all that
get it, but
all that is great, but that's not why. Like, that's what started his journey of being a bad guy, but that's not why he's being a bad guy. He's being a bad guy because he genuinely thinks that if everybody goes into the dark dimension, everybody will live forever and be happy, like the Ancient One, which is not true and stupid. And how would anybody ever believe that, ever?
Like, dude, it's called the dark dimension.
I know. You know, it's like if he was just...
Do you see the symbol on your forehead? Does that look normal to you?
Yeah. They even say that in the movie.
He even brings it up, like, dude, look at your face.
And he doesn't, and they don't acknowledge that at all. He just keeps talking, and it's like, that's stupid.
Yeah.
And yeah, dude, like if they would have just used that, like, oh, he's a bad guy because he feels betrayed. And he doesn't even care about the dark dimension. He's only using it so that he can kill her or get her power. Like, that would have been better instead of this whole just dumb mindset that he and his followers have.
Even if it went into explaining it like he started out down this path because he was betrayed, but then like once he drew from that Dormammu's power from the dark dimension, like Dormammu has this like influence over them. I think that would have been cool.
Yeah, and I think that's what they tried to do, because I think the Ancient One says that like the dark dimension Dormammu has like infected you. Personally, I don't think that is that interesting.
Yeah.
But if you are gonna do it, you need to do it way better than they did it. You have to do it like Lord of the Rings does it, where you start with Frodo and then you turn into basically evil Frodo by the end of the trilogy. You know, you see the journey, whereas in this one you don't see that journey at all, so he just looks like an idiot.
Yeah. Well, it was an unexpected journey.
Yeah, it was a amazing unexpected journey.
A quick.
So he's a pretty bad villain.
Yeah.
That being said, aesthetically he's okay, and his powers are pretty cool. And the acting is fine. I feel bad for the actor.
Yeah.
It's got a stupid writing.
A quick marvelous fact. Several times during close-ups, Caecilius / Mads Michaels can be seen with tears running down his cheeks. Apparently, apparently the makeup used irritated his eyes, yet he never showed it bothering him.
So cool, bro. Because we saw that.
Mm-hmm.
And we were just like guessing, like, oh, I guess it's just because the dark dimension is like messing with him. But I'm glad they didn't cut that, because it's a nice little touch that they could have dove into. You know, like if they were gonna go down the route that the dark dimension has corrupted him, like that could have been such a good detail if they would have actually dove in deep into that. Like if we would have had a moment where Caecilius breaks out and he's like, oh my god, I don't want to do this. I wanted to take the Ancient One, but it's not worth it, and then he's evil again. Like that would have been better.
Ooh,
then we could have
great scene, yeah.
We could have connected with him a little bit, but instead we get what we got, which is a two-dimensional, unintelligent character.
Yep. Well,
who chops off librarian heads?
Yeah, first thing. Yep.
All right. The list, Miston.
From the bottom is we have Malekith at number 12. Aldrich Killian, number 11. That's from Iron Man 3. Abomination, Hulk, 10. Darren Cross from Ant-Man. Obadiah from Iron Man.
All right. Stop. Okay, so we're in like the Abomination Darren Cross area.
Agreed. Yeah.
Because honestly,
Darren.
I don't know. Because like Abomination makes more sense than this guy does. It's still pretty stupid, but it still makes more sense than this guy does. Like, Neil Blom, or what's his name, Blonsky? Emil Blonsky was just, he wanted to be more powerful, and we get to see the path of him becoming more powerful and losing his humanity. You know, it's not great, but it's there, and so that already is better than what happens with Caecilius, but not as good of a performance. Doesn't look as good. Powers aren't as cool.
Yeah.
So I do think Abomination does go under. Darren Cross is just so freaking bland, dude. And the only thing good for him, going for him, is just the way he looks.
Yeah.
Which is pretty honestly similar. I think he's worse than Darren Cross. Because Darren Cross doesn't piss me off. This guy pisses me off. Like, he's such a dumb villain. Darren Cross was just a bland villain. This guy is a dumb villain. So I think he's under Darren Cross.
What do you think, Eric?
I mean, I don't have. I think it's going to come down to me. It's going to come down to the look for me. So, yeah. Why can I not remember his name?
Darren Cross.
Darren Cross.
Yeah.
Yellow Jacket.
Yellow Jacket. Yeah, the Yellow Jacket costume is BA.
Awesome. So
yeah, we can put it below.
Okay. Yeah, I don't have any strong feelings about putting him below Darren Cross. I think there's an argument to be made where he goes above it, just because there has that really good one line where he's like, "Why did you come to Kamar-Taj?" And he's like, "For power, for glory? No, you came to be healed, like we all did." You know. So there's that kind of humanizing part of him. They definitely
not enough, bro.
Oh, it's not enough. I completely agree. It's not enough. But at least they were like kind of hinting about that, where Darren Cross's thing is like, it straight up doesn't make it doesn't make sense.
No,
you know,
it's not that it doesn't make sense. It's just like, bleh. Oh, I'm angry. It's like, that's basically his character. Old man make me mad. Meh.
Anyways, it's going below Darren Cross, so it is the new number 10.
Dun, dun, dun.
And MCU has a villain problem. There's like 3 good villains right now, and we're already in phase 3.
Yeah, for sure. Well, how did Robert Downey Jr. do in this movie?
Dude, only reason I stayed awake.
So you did it.
I think him and Doctor Strange have a lot in common.
Yeah, and when we get to finally see them together, it's awesome. I love those two characters, and both played by fantastic actors.
Fantastic actors.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. If Benedict Cumberbatch had more to work with, he might have his own list of performances. But honestly, this is the only film where he gets to shine in the entire MCU, in my opinion.
Yeah. Agreed. Yeah. Here's a great one. CGI.
Ooh.
See, this is another one like Ant-Man, where it has the Marvel sheen, but because of the subject matter, the dark dimension, and the mystical stuff, it fits, it works more than just your standard sci-fi stuff like Age of Ultron. So I think it's going to get a couple points for that. Like the portals look so good, bro.
Yep. Dude,
just that scene where
he first gets bumped out.
Yeah, him like falling through all that is so trippy, and I'm just looking at all that stuff, and I'm like, man, the CG is crazy in this movie.
It's good. And it's they have a similar scene in Multiverse of Madness, and this one's better.
Yep, I completely agreed. And that's the thing that I want to debate about is like, there's that whole Inception thing where it's like the whole like cities and everything that is like still like top notch. It's so creative, one, and then two, it looks fantastic as well. And then later on we get in the fights where everything's moving and they're like going through the city and there's ladders and everything. It's so cool.
This movie is The Matrix meets Inception.
Yes, Yes, that's oh my gosh. Now I realize why I love this movie, like the aesthetic so much. Like, yeah, honestly, and that's why. Honestly, like for me, I think this should go number one in my book because everything just looks so good and it's so creative. You know, in Guardians we did, which is number one right now. We did get a lot of CGI and it all looked good, but they were never as creative. I feel like that where they were with this, where they have like the super trippy, like your 70s kind of stuff with all the lights and everything. But and then they also have we even see bits of the quantum realm in it, and then like they go everywhere. They go from
the astral plane.
They go to the astral plane. What do they do?
Well, they're astral forms. Not astral.
Yeah. Right. Yep. Astral projection is what you're saying.
I guess they don't go to the plane. Yeah.
The astral projection. All that looked good. Yeah. So I don't know.
I'm sure they did go to the astral plane because in Moon Knight they talk about how there's multiple astral planes.
Oh, I didn't catch that. That's
interesting. Don't you remember the hippo saying like, "Oh, the astral plane in Wakanda is amazing"?
I do not remember that. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, stay tuned for our Moon Knight review.
What's the list?
Guardians, Avengers, Ant-Man, Civil War. I say number one.
Let's go at number one, but I vehemently disagree.
Well, you are the father of CGI, so.
Fascia! Tell us why, Fascia.
Yeah, tell us why.
Like, the CG characters, like Groot and Rocket and Hulk, and just like, yes, the whole sequence with Doctor Strange going through all the dimensions and stuff is like a feast for your eyes. But like, I don't know. It's disconnected. You know what I mean? Like, I don't feel like I'm in that because it's so crazy and it's so insane. Like, I don't feel like I don't buy it. You know, I just because it's so crazy, I cannot believe it. Whereas like some of the sets and the practical stuff that we get in Avengers and in Guardians, it's like, yeah, I believe that I could be there. You know, like I could be there. That's how good it looks. So, I mean, it's the CG characters. It's because like, you know, the physical sets that we get in Guardians, and then like that, and then like the final fight, and just the CG characters, man. Like I mean, Iron Man, Hulk, Rocket, Groot. Like those four characters look so good. Like I would rather watch those characters in a scene than watch that scene where Doctor Strange gets flipped out.
Really? That is crazy. Okay, so where would you rank it?
What's below Avengers?
Ant-Man.
Man, I feel like I even like Ant-Man more. And it's not that it's bad. It really, because it isn't bad. They did do a really good job. But I think the surrealism just doesn't hit with me like at all. You know? Like because because it's showing us stuff that isn't real, that I don't buy it. Like I instantly takes, it's not like, oh, it takes me out, because I know that's what I came for, but I just cannot admire it as much. It's more like, to me, looking at like abstract art as opposed to looking at like a meticulously made sculpture.
I see.
Know?
Okay.
So honestly, I'd put it under Ant-Man, but you guys have it at the top, and I get it, and I'm not upset about it, but I do disagree.
Okay. Well, Eric, what do you think? Should we leave Nate as the father of CGI and let him choose it, or is it going number one? What do you think?
You know what? Let's kind of split the difference then again.
Okay,
let's not, because I mean he put it so low. I feel like
he put it at number 4.
Number 4, yeah. So, and we're like number 1, so maybe
I just find, as like I said, like the visuals in like Ant-Man so much more entertaining than this. And it's because of the reasons I said, because this is just so abstract. It's so abstract that it just takes me out.
Okay. He did have a very valid point about the characters. I mean,
yeah, true.
We have to.
Dormammu doesn't look that good to me. The whole Dark Dimension doesn't look that good to me.
No, I'm not a huge fan of the concept design
direction. Yeah.
for Dormammu. Can we actually pull up a comic depiction of Dormammu? I think he looks so much cooler.
Oh, I've never seen him.
Isn't he like an actual person?
Yeah. And try to get the one where he's bulkier, because there's an older one where he's like just like a slim kind of guy with a flaming head, but now there's a newer art style where he's like this hulking guy in this like cool armor, and he has this with the flaming head. I think it's really cool. So I don't know if you'll be able to find that, but that's the one I'm talking about.
What you're talking about?
No, see, that's oh yeah, that one. That's the older one. Go up to the more
good, bro. Like for Dark Dimension, this is Dark Dimension to me.
That one.
Interesting.
Not even Dormammu. It's Venomized Dormammu.
Yeah, go over to the left. Yeah, that's Dormammu too.
Interesting.
Huh. So I knew in the comics he was less of a. Oh, I guess it depends what comic you're in. I knew in some comics he's more of like a humanoid entity with insane power, as opposed to what we got in this film.
Yep.
I don't know how comic accurate it is, but watching the old Spider-Man cartoons, Dormammu is in a couple episodes, and he's the one that brings about Carnage.
Oh, interesting.
I don't know if I like that.
Honestly, when I first watched it, I got total gosh, why can't I think of his name? The Planet Eater guy.
Ego? Oh,
Galactus. I got total Galactus vibes, honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
CG.
Yes,
where you guys
CG. We are putting it at. Where do you think, Eric?
If you guys think it's number 1, just put it at number 1. It's 2 against 1. Like, it's fine.
Okay.
All
right. Let's go number 1.
We'll do as you command, CG King.
You know, I didn't care about your opinion anyways, Nate. All right. I'm going to say another marvelous fact here.
Marvelous facts.
Thank you. Benedict Cumberbatch was the first choice and was offered the lead role of Stephen Strange, but he initially had to decline the role due to his theater commitments playing William Shakespeare's Hamlet, which clashed with the film's proposal shooting date. When the release date was pushed back from July 2016 to November 2016, he was able to commit to shooting. Joaquin Phoenix was the studio's second choice for the lead role, but after a few months of deliberation, eventually turned down the offer due to his reluctance to do a multi-picture deal that was required for the studio if he signed on.
I think Joaquin would have done an excellent job, but I don't think he has the charm that Benedict Cumberbatch has.
Yep. And I don't know if... I'm sure he could have, but I don't know how much I would have bought. Like, I feel like it comes very... It goes very well with Benedict Cumberbatch, how arrogant he is. I'm sure Joaquin could have done it, but I don't know if I would have bought it as much.
Yeah, it would have been a different character.
Oh yeah.
I think if Joaquin did it, it would have been a much more serious, sullen character.
Now it's time to guess the Rotten Tomato score.
It's The Prices. I mean, the Rotten Tomato score is right. I've been pretty good. My last two were like one off.
Yeah. Let's see if you can nail this one.
75.
Interesting. I say 73.
Okay.
I'm gonna go 77.
Yeah.
77.
I should have done like 77.
It is what?
82?
No way.
Is it 90?
It's 89.
Wow.
I remember people liking it. How is that possible? The villain is such trash.
89. Holy crap. Wow.
Oh, Eric. Eric is the closest.
Jeez.
You want to call it close?
That's crazy.
I
did not
knew
expect that.
people liked it, but 89. How high is that? Isn't that like top 3?
It might be.
As far as MCU films go? Jesus. It is not that good. I don't give a crap what anybody says. It is not that good. Just because of the villain alone. A villain should be like a third of your film. You know, honestly, it really should be, especially in a superhero film. And it is terrible in this film.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Soundtrack. You guys think of the soundtrack?
Okay. It's got that tingy stuff that's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, they should have used that more.
Honestly, they should have leaned in real hard with it because it sounds great.
It's above generic. I'll give it that. It's definitely above.
Yeah. You know, I'm gonna say the top half. All right. So we've got Guardians, definitely not above that. Avengers, Iron Man 2, Civil War, Winter Soldier.
What's below Winter Soldier?
Iron Man 3.
I'm a blue dava dee dava da. What's below Iron Man 3?
Captain America.
Ooh.
Yeah, I could see an argument. It's definitely above Captain America.
Mm-hmm.
I could see it below Iron Man 3. And I personally think it's definitely below Civil War. But that's me personally.
I don't have a problem with that.
Yeah, honestly, that's pretty much where I was thinking about putting it. Right in between Civil War and Winter Soldier is where I was thinking.
Wait. Did I say Civil War?
Yes.
It's definitely below Winter Soldier.
Okay.
That's what I meant.
I was personally thinking about between Civil War and Winter Soldier just because they are so creative with the soundtrack. Sure, they don't lean into it as heavy as they should have. But it's definitely like I'd never really focused on it before until watching it this time, but like listening to it, it totally fits the character and is not like off-putting at all or anything because they use it so subtly, honestly.
Yeah, then that's why I think it's below Winter Soldier, because the soundtrack in Winter Soldier adds to the emotion of the scene.
Okay.
And I don't think, like everything you said was right.
Uh-huh.
But I don't think it does that ever. I don't really think the soundtrack ever really does add to the emotion of the scene.
True. Okay. Under Winter Soldier, I'm okay with that. You okay with that, Eric?
I'm fine with it.
Okay. It is the new number 7.
7.
Ooh. This one I've been waiting to do, but first I'm gonna do another marvelous fact. You know, I put a few here, all talking about the Ancient One. I thought we would have a conversation about it, but we haven't yet. So this is the conversation. In the comics, the Ancient One is an old man. In this film, the Ancient One is played by a woman. She was a deliberate this was a deliberate decision. As Scott Derrickson felt, the Ancient One was a title rather than a person. Additionally, this was also intended to avoid the risk of portraying any negative racial stereotypes, as the appearance of the Ancient One in the comics is based on Tibetan monks. Scott Derrickson wanted the Ancient One to be an Asian woman, but felt that it would be perceived as exploiting Asian fetish and a fanboy's dream girl. He decided to cast a non-Asian actor in the role.
I have no idea what he was talking about at the end, but everything else I agree with.
But to still take the opportunity to cast an amazing actress in a male role, he thus wrote the role of the Ancient One specifically for Tilda Swinton, feeling that she was the obvious choice for such a mystical and mysterious role. Although Morgan Freeman, Ken Watanabe, and Bill Nye were considered for the role of the Ancient One as well.
Bill Nye?
Imagine how dumb that would be.
What?
Wow.
Obviously, that was before they had already made the decision of it being a woman, but very early on in the conversation.
No, bro, you're thinking of a different. It's not Bill Nye.
Not the science guy?
No, it's Bill Nye. Bill Nighy, the octopus in Pirates of the Caribbean.
Oh,
it's Bill Nighy. I was like, dude, no, that's impossible. That's impossible.
I just love that though. Bill Nye walking around.
Yeah, I was just not like, that guy.
Wow, Bill Nye has some acting chops I didn't know about.
That would have been such a great cameo. Bill Nye's first MCU role.
I think it was an excellent choice. I think Tilda Swinton killed it.
Yeah,
she was a great character.
Yeah, and honestly, like from the first moment that we see her with the yellow hood, she looks so cool and she fights so cool. It's like she is awesome.
She always looks like she's a cut above everybody else, which is cool.
And I like that they weren't like hiding behind it or anything. Like, nope, she's Celtic and she's the Ancient One because she's old. Like they're not like, oh, you know, there used to be another Ancient One and he was an Asian dude, but then they had a bunch of, you know, whatever they could have done with the racial stuff. I'm glad that they just put it out there. She's Celtic, and I thought it was a cool choice.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Now let's talk about the fight scene. Or action scene, sorry.
Because I fell asleep for the last one, I have no idea. The first fight between Doctor Strange and Caecilius I thought was pretty good.
Oh, you mean you're talking about the Dormammu fight?
Yeah, I fell asleep for that one at the very end. Like that whole final fight. The one that I thought was pretty good was when they're in the New York Sanctum.
Yeah.
And yeah, like that one was really good because it's clearly like a novice Doctor Strange just using grit and determination to like outthink all these guys. And then the cape is very entertaining.
And then when they're like out in the city, you know, after he does the mirror dimension, they're out in the city. I think that is the best action sequence right there. Because there's things flying and everything. And then actually when the Ancient One shows up, it's like, oh, dang, like you're all screwed now, you know? And it also still pulls the plot forward. I love that whole sequence from him.
Long sequence.
It is a long sequence, but it's really good, I think. They're very creative. Very creative with the weapons that they use with like those super long, like, you know, invisible blades to the cape to all this stuff. I thought it was
cage, so like a suit cage.
Yeah.
Thing.
Oh yeah, that's really cool.
Speaking of, there's one quick fact that I wanted to, and this is a little, I guess, Easter egg for those who have seen Multiverse of Madness. In a fight, Doctor Strange frightens and then hits Caecilius over the head with an object. This object is the brazier of Bomb Goliath, a relic used for transportation.
Cool.
Which we see them use in Mom.
I have a marvelous fact. I don't know if you have it or not. Did you know that Benedict Cumberbatch voices Dormammu?
I did not know that. That's cool.
Yes.
As well.
That is true. Mm-hmm. And I don't know.
Benedict Cumberbatch, I've come to bargain. Die! Benedict Cumberbatch.
Yep. Actually, the director said that they tried different actors and everything, but in the end, he was like, who better to, you know, play off the chemistry than himself?
Yourself.
Yeah.
Let's get Smaug in here. Come on.
I forgot he did Smaug, yeah.
He did.
Like the best part of those movies.
Honestly, yeah. So where are we going to rank this action sequence? Where are you thinking? Top half, bottom half?
Definitely top half.
Okay.
It's pretty good.
Okay. So right now we have Civil War, Cap, Bucky, Tony. Winter Soldier, highway fight. Avengers, War in New York. Iron Man, Golmira fight. Ultron, Hulk versus Tony.
Okay. Do you guys feel like it's better than Hulk versus Hulkbuster or Gulmira?
Gulmira is so cool, though.
Yeah, dude. Man, I don't get it, man. Gulmira is it's a very quick, simple fight, dude. But like the cool factor is just like
it's through the roof,
off the charts.
To 11, yeah, cranked to 11.
So okay, I'm fine putting it under Gulmira. Hulkbuster though, like that is a really good fight. But this is
Gotta sleep.
I know. It's also, yeah, but like which one's more memorable? It's definitely the Hulkbuster one.
Yeah, exactly.
So
number 6 is Ant-Man train fight. I think it goes right above that.
Yeah, I'm good with that.
I'm fine with that.
Cool.
So Bill Nye. I just have the actual actor.
6.
I have the actual actor pulled over on the right, and I keep looking at him and thinking that you thought it was Bill Nye the Science Guy. It's like, no, bro, Bill Nighy.
Bill Nighy. I've never heard of that actor.
You have? He's
I've seen him. I haven't heard of him.
He's David Jones.
You have seen him, but you haven't heard of him yet.
He was also in the Underworld movies, right?
Yeah, I don't think he watched those.
No.
He's in a bunch of stuff. He's a good actor. He's in Shaun of the Dead.
Another little mom Easter egg. In the comics, Stephen Strange had a younger sister named Donna, who died when he was young, and motivated him into becoming a doctor. Lulu Wilson was casted as Donna in the film and shot some scenes, but they were cut out for running time purposes. They should have kept those scenes in there.
No.
If they were going to reference it later, they should have.
They didn't have to. I like that. I like that we get to learn more about the characters. They should have put it in Mom.
Okay.
And they should have rewritten Mom to make that work.
Okay, I see what you're going. Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Because that would have added, because that, when he mentions that, it was like, that was a good scene.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, I'd buy that. Mm-hmm. It could have been 10 times better if they actually showed us.
Yep. One of the mages at Kamar-Taj is Hamir, Master Hamir. In the Marvel Comics, Hamir was Hamir the Hermit, Wong's father.
Oh.
You don't think that? Nah, I think that's definitely not MCU.
No, definitely not. But that's interesting. A little interesting, marvelous fact for you. Yeah. Okay, so we did action sequence. Let's rank the trilogy, guys. What do you think? I'm just kidding.
When the Mom trilogy is complete, or the Doctor Strange trilogy is complete, Mom will bring it down significantly.
Oh yeah, for sure. Okay, let's do after credits. After credits here.
Which one?
I think you should do the first one, for him talking to Thor.
Yeah, because the second one still doesn't matter.
Yeah, the second one's real lame.
Missed opportunity.
No, it's not lame. It could have been better if the second Doctor Strange movie was better.
Yeah, I guess. Still,
because Mordo, the actor, is really good. Chiwetel Ejiofor, he's a really good actor, and I totally buy him as a villain. And
really?
They totally could have made him work in Mom, and they just chose not to.
True.
His original name was Baron Mordo, wasn't it, in the comics?
Yes. Yeah, I read that fact.
White guy?
Oh, was he?
I think he was a white guy.
Yeah, dude, it's old comics. Everybody's white and a dude.
Yeah.
Or racist, or a racist stereotype. Those are the only two settings old comics
Black
had.
Panther was white, right?
No, but he was a racist stereotype. Those are the only two things.
Yep. Okay. So we're doing the one where Thor is talking to Doctor Strange, and he's like, "Oh, I'm looking for Odin. Then I'll go back to Asgard."
Oh, Odin's in the back. He's chilling.
Yeah, right. And then he's got the cup that goes down and goes back up. It's cool.
Oh, that's so cool.
It's a solid one. I have nothing bad to say about that, other than the gloves. But that's like so tiny. That's so tiny.
Little quick Easter egg of his comic outfit.
Accurate.
Yeah. But I guess I'll start from the top. We've got Avengers, Thanos, Ultron, Thanos grabbing the gauntlet, Ant-Man, Falcon, and Cap, Winter Soldier, the twins, Civil War, Wakanda and Bucky, Thor, Loki with a Tesseract, and
okay, I'm fine putting it over that.
Loki and the Tesseract. Yeah, I'm okay with that.
Okay.
Cool. Court adjourned.
It's the new number 6. It's getting like right in the middle of the road a lot of times here.
According to Rotten Tomatoes, it's like top 5.
I don't know what the heck they're talking about. All right, I'm gonna do a few more of these. Actually, I'm gonna clear out the table. All right, I'm gonna clear it out. Rachel McAdams started startled reaction in the broom closet was genuine, which I think was actually pretty obvious. Since the mop handle fell completely by accident and scared McAdams almost out of her skin. Scott Derrickson decided to keep the reaction in the film since she never broke character.
Why did it scare her so much?
I don't know. But I love it. It's a great scene. I think I really.
I was wondering that too when I saw that scene. I was just like, "That's so genuine." Like, was she actually scared there?
Which is strange, but
it's so perfect that I thought it was like, nah, she's just a really good actress because she is, but I guess not.
You're not as good as I thought you were. Here's a good one. It hints to the future of the MCU. One of the relics in the New York Sanctum is a white mask with a ankh next to it. ANKH. I don't know how to say that.
Ankh. I don't know. Never heard of that before either.
This is a reference to the Moon Knight, a superhero who was empowered and sometimes possessed by the Egyptian moon god Khonshu and wielded a stick shaped like a ankh. However you say that.
Ankh.
Just like that.
The goose.
But yeah, I thought that was a cool little Easter egg there. I had no idea.
So freaking tiny, bro.
Watch out! It's Moon Goose. Sorry.
I don't know, bro. I cannot find this.
ANKH?
No, the Easter egg.
Oh, the Easter egg? Oh, I don't know. Found it in IMDb. It's got to be there somewhere. IMDb, place for facts.
100% accurate.
Yeah. Another one is Property Master Barry Gibbs had created a model of. Oh, sorry, I completely forgot to say this before this. This is a quiz. Quick, what do you call them? Flash quiz. Yeah, this is a quiz. All right, let's see if you guys know what this is a reference to. Property Master Barry Gibbs had crafted a model of the Ebony Blade, a relic wielded by the Marvel hero the Black Knight, to feature in the New York Sanctum, but it was removed from the film. Does that ring any bells?
Yeah, it's at the end of Eternals.
Eternals, yes. It is also seen in Eternals in the after credit scene.
Never seen it yet.
Oh,
looks dope.
Hey, you're not mentioning much.
Jon Snow.
We'll get there. We'll get there.
Yeah. And then last one. Just before he crashes, Doctor Strange is told about a 22-year-old woman with schizophrenia with an electronic implant in her brain struck by lightning.
I heard about that. What the heck was that?
This is a reference to the superhero Madeline Joyce, also known as Miss America, who received superpowers when an experimental electronic device her uncle was testing was struck by lightning. In the comics, Miss America is now the identity of another superhero called America Chavez, who inherits the original America's powers.
Was one of the calls coming in, was that for Rhodey?
Yeah, see, you would think so. You would think so.
Not?
I thought so too for a very long time.
It's not?
Apparently, I didn't put it in here, but the director says it's not because the timeline doesn't match up. Because that would have already happened. He would already been in recovery a long time ago.
Yeah, that's a good point. Because there's a lot of time between the crash and then him becoming Doctor Strange. Oh man.
It's so weird. And they're like, okay, maybe it's a reference. Some of the fans were saying maybe it's a reference to
Xavier.
In Hammer Industries in Iron Man 2. There's that one like test where there's a dude in it and just goes 180, and they're like, oh, maybe it's him, but I feel like it's so dumb. Like, why'd you put that in there if it's not that? It's not Rhodes.
It's fine. It's not that big a deal.
Whatever. Well, Eric,
is it that time? It's time. Okay.
Where do you rank Doctor Strange in the MCU?
Read me my list, Winnie. Read it to me.
Top half. Yeah, I guess. Yeah, top half is Avengers, Guardians, Iron Man, Civil War, Winter Soldier, Age of Ultron, Ant-Man. Do you need any more?
No, I don't think so. Man, this is tough.
Over Ant-Man? What's below Ant-Man for his list?
Captain America, Iron Man 2, Iron Man 3.
I think I like the pacing of this movie. I don't know what it is. I like it a lot.
No, it does have good pacing. You're not wrong.
And
then really solid second act.
Like before he even becomes Doctor Strange.
Sorcerer?
Yeah, Sorcerer. Yeah, well, because he is Doctor Strange. Never mind. Like I could watch him just being a surgeon. Like his story was captivating to me.
Yeah, the dialogue is so much better in this film. Like the dialogue in Mom is like it's basically just I hate you. I hate you. I don't trust you. I don't trust you. Let me save you. I don't trust you. Like that's literally all the conversations, bro. You're bad. Stop. Like that's all the conversation.
It's not fair.
Whereas in this one, like the dialogue is like you said, even before, just seeing him doing his surgeon thing, it's like it's good. Way better.
I think I'm gonna put it above Age of Ultron.
That would be just under Winter Soldier. It would be your new number 6.
That sounds about right.
Okay. Interesting. Okay.
I think me and Winston might differ on this. I think our list may finally diverge.
Really? How many movies did it take?
Because I don't give a crap about this film.
What?
It's not that I dislike it. It's just it's like Eric with the movies. Like, yeah, I just never saw it again. It's like I just don't care. Like I wouldn't. It's not bad, but I would not watch it again if it wasn't part of the MCU.
So disappointed.
I've
been waiting for this day.
It's probably because we know now where the character is going, and I'm not excited about it. Like,
but
all.
You can't have that affect your opinion on this film, though.
Yeah, it can.
No,
importance to the MCU. That's part of it.
Sure, that's part of it, but that's why you judge Mom. That's where you judge Mom when we get to it.
Yeah, I think you have to keep your...
Yeah, you have to keep it like, this is the only thing that's happened in the MCU so far.
Where it ranks in the MCU, okay, takes everything into account. It takes everything into account.
Aren't you like ranking it as a movie in itself?
I am doing that, but everything else as well. Everything else comes into account. Soundtrack, after credits scene, importance, like... this isn't a review. This isn't a review. This is where it ranks in the MCU.
That's true. Okay. Fine, Nick. Fine.
Okay.
The current Those Who Geek list is Civil War, Winter Soldier, The Avengers, Iron Man, Guardians, Ant-Man, Age of Ultron, Captain America, Iron Man 2, Iron Man 3, Thor, and then way down at the bottom, Thor Dark World, and lastly, The Incredible Hulk. Now, where do we rank Doctor Strange in the MCU?
Dude, I mean, the thing is, like, I fell asleep, bro. Like,
that's not my fault.
Fallen asleep? No, but that is a testament to the film. Have I fallen asleep to any other film so far?
I don't know. Why would you fall asleep to this compared to Thor Dark World?
I think I did fall asleep to Thor Dark World in parts. No, it's over Thor Dark World. All right, let's be serious here. Okay, calm down. But at the end of the day, it's like, what would I rather watch? Thor or this film? This film. What would I rather watch? It's like, this film or Captain America? You know, like this is where it's at for me. You know, it's like,
wow.
Iron Man 3 or this film? I'd probably watch Iron Man 3 because Robert Downey Jr. is in it. You know what I mean?
I get it.
You know?
Oh my God.
Like, I don't care about this film. I don't care about the magic. It sucks because I like Benedict Cumberbatch as an actor. But, like, it doesn't do anything for me, dude. It is not bad, though. So it's not a bad film. So I will not rank it below films that are genuinely bad. Like, obviously, like Thor the Dark World and Hulk. And what's around Iron Man 3?
So under Iron Man 3 is Thor. Above Iron Man 3
definitely above Thor.
Above Iron Man 3 is Iron Man 2. And above that is Captain America.
I don't know. The decision I'm making in my mind is like, because it's better. What's above Captain America?
Age of Ultron.
Yeah, I don't think it's better than Age of Ultron. I think Age of Ultron has more highs and more lows, but the highs are good enough that it puts it over the Doctor Strange, in my opinion. But like I'd rather watch anything with Robert Downey Jr. in it than this film.
I think you got a case of actor bias there.
It's about entertainment, you know.
But Benedict Cumberbatch is a great actor, and this character is done very well in this.
The character is done okay. It's done okay.
Eric just said that he could watch a whole movie about him just being a surgeon.
The first half is solid. Not even the first half. Him as a surgeon is solid, and then him in the middle is okay. But then, like that little gap between him being a doctor and then him being an actual sorcerer, like him being a bum. Like, I don't give a crap. I don't buy it. It doesn't do anything for me. And then afterwards, when he's just fighting everybody at the end, I was asleep. I don't know, bro. Where do you want to put it?
Well, you know, shoes off the table? That doesn't even make sense.
Shoes off the table.
Dude,
hats
that's
off,
a saying.
Hats off. What's the...
What are you trying to say?
Gloves off. That's what I'm talking about.
Shoes off the table, baby.
Shoes off the table. Gotta use it every time. Gloves off. Like, I'm like, I think, man, it's difficult because above Age of Ultron, easy above Age of Ultron. Above Ant-Man,
like, I'd rather watch Paul Rudd. Like, it's more entertaining to me than Benedict in this film.
I don't know, man. It's the whole, like, just how creative they are with the magic and the rules that they set up. That is just it.
Yeah,
like, and also the expectations for me. Like, I walked into this movie knowing a little bit about Doctor Strange from the comics, being incredibly worried that I was going to have to walk out of the movie halfway because I wasn't going to like it. And I walked out of the movie after watching it all, and I was like, I liked this. Like, this was what I needed out of this movie. And I like Doctor Strange. You know? Unfortunately, the sequel did the exact opposite for me. You know? But I can separate that where, you know, the path that this lays does the groundwork so that Infinity War and Endgame makes sense for the character, and Doctor Strange is a huge part of that. Huge part of it. They would not win against Thanos without Doctor Strange there. And so for me, like, that brings a whole enjoyment of this film up.
Everything you just said, you also went into Ant-Man thinking it was going to be super stupid and came out happy.
Yeah.
And then also, they would not win Endgame without Ant-Man.
True. Yep. That's why that's the battle right there.
I think if we really came down to it, every person was very crucial to Infinity War, okay?
Oh, but there's some people that are more crucial than others. Ant-Man is up there. Doctor Strange is up there. Iron Man is up there.
Yeah. Like Spider-Man. Spider-Man's a great character, but unfortunately he doesn't add much to that whole, like he fights him obviously, but like the Guardians of the Galaxy don't really help that much either. There's a lot of characters.
Guardians kind of hinder everything.
Yeah.
I hate you, Thanos!
God, that scene. Freaking God, yeah.
It's hard to watch, yeah.
So for me, it's like it comes down to I'm thinking like that final fight with Yellow Jacket versus Ant-Man. I didn't enjoy that as much as I really liked the Dormammu I've come to bargain. I felt like it was a really creative thing to do with the Time Stone, and it also revealed that is an Infinity Stone, which that doesn't matter that much, but I loved the way that they used it. And they also showed that Doctor Strange isn't afraid to break the rules, which is also very important. It shows something about the character, even though, but it was also that development of he's not doing it for him anymore.
Is that satisfying to you? The way he beats Dormammu?
Yeah, dude,
that was
dope.
Not satisfying. Like he beat him because
he outsmarted him.
He got bored. He didn't outsmart him. He outlasted him.
Well, sure. Okay, yeah, sure. But like the fact that he thought of that and he was willing to go to those lengths and he beat practically a Celestial without a scratch on him because he fought in a completely different way. Like that I find super cool. And then the final fight with Ant-Man, it was creative in the way that they grew things and put things down and everything like that. But the dynamic between Ant-Man and Darren Cross, there was nothing there, I feel like.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. It's right there.
Another thing is I had never had any high emotions at any part of this film. There was never oh my God, I feel so bad for you. There's never, oh my God, that's so freaking cool. There's never oh my God, that's so scary. Or oh yeah, he finally won. None of that. Or oh my God, that's hilarious. Whereas I feel like there was more of that in Ant-Man. With Michael Peña's character and with Paul Rudd and his kid and with Harry Douglas and his, Hank Pym and his relationship with his daughter. I just vibed more with those characters than with Doctor Strange. And
I really like how this has become more of a trying to pull Winnie down and you actually making your list. Where you want it, but you're trying to bring Winnie closer to where you would have it. You're well, man, remember Ant-Man? You remember how good Ant-Man was, huh? Do you? Because I think you need to remember.
Well, the unfortunate thing is I can place it somewhere, but we as a group, we do have to place it in the list, because Nate can have his opinion, I can have my opinion, but we need to put it on the list one way or another.
Well, then if it's different from each other, then it branches off in your own
list. Where
list.
would you put it, Nate?
Dude, I fell asleep, bro. That's such a bad mark. That's such a bad mark, bro.
He's still trying to just, if you don't like it, just put it where you put it, man.
Yeah, bro. It goes under Iron Man 3. I don't care. It goes under Iron Man 3.
Wow, you are a crazy man.
And I know it's a better film, but it's like, what if you put those two films in front of me? Which one would I rather watch? I'd rather watch Iron Man 3 than Doctor Strange. I don't give a crap about
you just contradicted yourself. You said you know it's a better film.
Yeah.
You know it's a better film. Yeah, it goes under Iron Man 3.
I mean, you're biased to certain things. Like there are movies like, yeah, it's better made. There's this and this, but you're drawn towards certain movies. Like I can't like certain movies over Iron Man. I just can't do it because I mean, like the same thing with Nate. Like Downey is just so amazing in that.
And it's like, there are movies that people say are the best of all time, like Shawshank Redemption and Citizen Kane and Casablanca and The Godfather. But like, if you put all those movies in front of me and then Empire Strikes Back or the Return of the King, it's like I'm always gonna want to watch those movies over it.
Sure.
Even though technically those other movies are better.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
And it's like, and that's what it comes down to. Like at the end of the day, what would I want to watch more? What do I enjoy more? What do I appreciate more? It's Iron Man 3. Even though Doctor Strange does all these things right, but I don't care. Like it doesn't keep me awake.
Gosh, that is heartbreaking, dude. God dang. You know, just to spite you. No, just kidding. I think
like Doctor Strange, number 1 on my list.
No. I think I am going to put it above Ant-Man.
Nice try, Nate.
Just because, again, you are correct. And me, after thinking about it from like your perspective, yes, Ant-Man may be a better film. Very debatable, but still, to me, I love this vibe so much, And it's just like that opening sequence, it grabs me every time. It is so cool. Just how creative they are with everything they do. And I completely disagree, unfortunately, about I think when in between where he's a doctor and learning how to become a sorcerer, I love that because it shows one, how expansive, and it breaks everything wide open with all the different dimensions and everything, but also it shows him being humbled for once in his life, and that changes the character. And then it's, who is he from now on? Who is he going to become? And that's the journey. This is called Doctor Strange for a reason. So I really like that. Something else I did think about though is he never becomes the Sorcerer Supreme. He's not the Sorcerer Supreme in the MCU, which is crazy.
He doesn't get it after Tilda Swinton dies?
No, because
they never see it.
And at the end of the movie, they're like, yeah, there is no Sorcerer Supreme to stop all the mystical threats. They say it at the end of this movie.
Interesting. I don't know. I think ultimately what it comes down to is I don't like Doctor Strange as a character. I don't like his powers. I don't like how he's potentially super powerful, but somehow never does anything. Mm-hmm. Or when he does, it's like, I've come to bargain. It's like, and as a character, I also don't sympathize with him at all. Because his own hubris, I don't know. I don't know what it is about him. He just seems like the type of person to me that I just wouldn't get along with. And even after he's reformed and a good person, I'd be like, okay, he's fine, but I'm not really interested in hanging out with that guy.
And Iron Man, you are?
I was thinking the exact same thing.
Here's the thing: is that I don't. Okay, let's break it down. Why does Downey seem so much more relatable? Because they are simply, essentially very similar arcs, mm-hmm. where they're super arrogant at the top of the world, and then they get brought down, humbled, hardcore, and then they learn their lesson. I think the reason why is because even though Downey is reformed, even though Tony is reformed, he still feels human. Whereas it feels like Strange, after he's reformed, he just feels two-dimensional. You know what I mean? Like,
Sure.
it doesn't feel like he's struggling for right or wrong anymore. Like, the most we get is not in this film at all, but is Infinity War, where it's like, I'll let Tony and the kid die to save the time stone. But like, even when he says that, the first time I watched it, I was like, that's not true. Like, that's not true at all. Like, I don't believe you. Whereas Tony still feels so complex and conflicted, even after he's been reformed in the first film. I feel like that's why I sympathize with him more, because like that feels more realistic, where it's like, even if you do turn this page, it's still a constant struggle to fight the worst parts of yourselves. Whereas with Doctor Strange, it's like, no, he's just a good guy now that somehow knows all the answers but can never fix anything properly.
I think that's also like a part of the character, though, that he feels like he does have all the answers, and yet he always loses. Even in this movie, he loses. He was trying to protect.
To watch.
I don't know. I think
he thinks it is.
Yeah, I know. I mean, at the end of the day, just like, it's just personal preference. Like, fundamentally, I just do not vibe with this story or this character. Yeah. It's just that simple. Like, the aesthetic, the character, like, fundamentally, it's just not my cup of tea.
Well, yeah, Strange isn't really my favorite either.
Yeah, he's definitely not my favorite.
I think it's a good movie.
Yeah, I think so. I think so too. But he's not my favorite, especially down the road. But now that we've all separated our ways, we've now become the multiverse in our opinions. Let's unite and make the sacred timeline. Where are we ranking Doctor Strange in the MCU?
Okay. Do you think it's better than Ant-Man, Eric?
Do you think it's better than Ant-Man?
I mean, I've seen so many heist movies that, I mean, it's just another heist movie to me. I love Paul Rudd, but this is its own thing. So I feel like, yeah, probably.
Okay, that's where it is then.
Okay. So it is the new number 6. Thank you, Eric. Thank you. Justice was brought down.
I mean, cool. Whose characters are you gonna have?
Yeah, Nate, what image from what kind of background do you want for your list?
Oh, Daredevil.
Ooh, nice.
Like black suit Daredevil.
Okay,
like, cool.
Okay, yeah, sweet.
That makes so much sense.
Hey, he's canon. He's canon.
I mean, yeah.
No, not. I mean, yeah, he's canon. You saw that brick. We all saw the brick.
I think I'm gonna keep going back and forth because I started off saying Thor as mine, and then we watched Guardians, and I was like, oh man, I gotta have Star-Lord. And then I think once Love and Thunder comes out, it's gonna go back to Thor.
I hope so.
That looks so cool.
I know, bro. I'm so excited for that film.
All right, you guys are. Who are you choosing for your background?
Me? I don't know. I'm gonna play it by ear. Huh?
Magneto.
Oh, Magneto. That would be an interesting one.
Red. It's red.
Mm-hmm. Maybe I'll do a little Wolvie, huh? A little Wolvie.
German descent.
Oh my gosh.
Why?
Oh gosh. All right. Eric, what is the next movie we are revisiting? Do you know?
Next on our revisiting list will be Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2.
Showtime, a-holes.
That was like one of your best ones yet, bro. That was great.
That was great. Awesome.
Good.
I'm excited.
I was ready. I was ready. Have you guys been watching the one-offs, the one-shots?
Yes, I have been.
I haven't. They don't matter.
Yeah, it's like, I don't want to waste 3 minutes on a freaking short. All right. Well, thanks everybody for joining us. Again, this is going to be a little bit of a longer one, but we appreciate your time. And again, if you know anybody who got in a really bad car accident and loses their hands, tell them to leave a comment in below.
Sorry?
Yeah, tell them sorry first. And then tell them that, hey, you might sympathize with Doctor Strange. And there's these people that made a podcast about his film.
Go watch it.
You should watch it and like it and subscribe because we appreciate it.
Exactly. But until next time, have a marvelous day and stay frosty.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye now.